Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH, and I'm back for another iOS accessible app spotlight. Not a game, but an app. This is another app that I've started using a couple weeks ago as I'm recording this video, and I don't know, it seems to be working so far, and I'm going to stick with it to see just how much I like it. But we are looking at an app today called Sleep Cycle. Um, this is basically an alarm app for your iPhone, and it's available for Android as well. But it's more than more than an alarm. Because it's like, well, yeah, there's a built-in alarm thing. There's a built-in alarm for in your device. So why would you use this one? One thing I've always been sort of that I've been curious about for a little while. A friend of mine told me about these kind of smart alarms where you wake up in the morning and it's, you're just totally zoned out. You're totally, hardcore sleeping. Your alarm goes off and you're either just, you jump or you're so in deep sleep that you wake up and you feel groggy. You feel really heavy. Your body just feels like heavy. And you're just like, I don't want to get up. The smart alarm, what it's supposed to do is you set a time that you want the alarm to go off, but then you give it like an interval around that time. So usually before it. So let's say I wanted to get up at 6:30 in the morning, which I don't, but I have to. But if I wanted to get up at 6:30 in the morning, I can have it like the way it defaults is it'll say, okay, so sometime between 6 and 6:30 will wake you up. But what happens is this app, I guess you plug your phone in, you put it on your nightstand next to you, and what you do is you put your phone face down so the microphone and your cord is facing toward you, laying in bed on your nightstand there, and it just kind of monitors you while you sleep, and then I guess it's supposed to be able to tell using you can use the accelerometer, but then you have to put it on your bed. And I don't want to do that because the way I thrash in my sleep, I don't want to wreck my phone. But so I use the microphone and the microphone and the just put it on my nightstand. And it's supposed to monitor like when you're not asleep or when you're in a light stage of sleep versus REM sleep. So let's open up the app here. I'll show you what it looks like here. So this is your main alarm screen, and you just have a picker in the middle of the screen.
Hour 6, adjustable.
Hour 6, so I can swipe up and down.
30 minutes, adjustable.
30
Swipe up, AM, adjustable.
AM, so I can swipe up or down to adjust any of those things. And then if I flick to the right again.
Current alarm setting, wake up between 6 AM, 6:30 AM.
So 6 and 6:30. So what it's going to try to do is between the hours of 6 and 6:30, it's going to try to listen for me being in a light sleep, I guess based on my breathing or movement or however in the heck the microphone, I don't know what kind of wizardry they're doing. I mean, people are like, oh God, that seems really eerie or really, kind of a messed up thing for privacy or whatever. Maybe, but I figure there's probably devices that I don't even know about that I have that are listening to me anyway. So, hey, why not just use it for something practical? You know what? Whatever. But, so anyway, like I said, it'll find a time where you're in a light of sleep, and then it'll play an alarm so that when you wake up, you're not jarred out of a deep sleep, and it's more like you're naturally waking up, and you'll feel more awake right away. You won't be so groggy. And I've been using it, like I said, for probably the better part of 2 weeks now. And it seems to work pretty well. Like, I think it does actually kind of work. I have my regular alarm on for 6:30 as a backup, like if I don't hear this one, but I've never had a problem hearing it. So this is your main screen, and if I flick to the right again, I have a start button, so I can turn the alarm on. I'm going to temporarily turn it on here. So before you turn it on, it gives you a little screenshot and a little tip that says,
Place the phone as pictured. Keep the charger connected.
So basically, what it's saying, the picture shows the phone face down on the nightstand, and your cord is like in between the nightstand and you. You know, the microphone on the bottom of your device is facing toward the bed. And so, yeah, that's all you do. And then if I were to go
OK button.
OK,
OK.
and then it does the little start thing. So, no, we're not going to do that. Stop.
Alarm on. Alarm on. Button.
So, there you go.
Press to deactivate alarm
Basically,
before
when it's
sleeping
on, you
messages.
just set it down and let it do. So, in the upper left,
Alarm on. Alarm on. Button.
there's an alarm
Press to
on
deactivate alarm.
button. What you can also do is you can toggle the alarm off, but you can still use the app to track how well you slept. So like on a weekend when you don't have to get up early, you can have it do that. Um, or today, you know, like if I have a day off or something, I can do it that way. Then you just it's just basically a toggle. You can turn the alarm on and off.
Select wake up song. Button.
Select wake up song. So in the free version, this is a free app, by the way.
Select wake up sound. Heading.
So there are
Selected. Warm breeze.
warm
Press to
breeze.
select
That's
this alarm
currently what
button.
I'm waking up to. So I'll play the little sample.
Selected. Warm breeze.
Not bad, actually. You know, it's nothing jarring. You're not waking up to some idiot on the morning show going, "Hey, what's going on? We're gonna wake you up. We're gonna scare the shit out of you." No, we're not gonna do that.
Force play.
It's actually kind of
Press
pleasant.
to select this alarm melody.
I could do this one.
Force play. Selected. Force play.
So that's Forest
Press to
Blade.
select this alarm warm breeze.
I wake up to the warm breeze. I just haven't changed it.
Morning mist.
Morning mist.
Morning mist.
A lot of just, really calming kind of ambient things. You just kind of wake up, and it probably, as the alarm goes, it probably gets more into it. It's like, hey, starts you out kind of mellow, and then, hey, wake up. That kind of a thing. And like I said, instead of some crazy morning show guy yelling at you.
Press sunrise.
Sunrise.
Selected. Sunrise.
All right, yeah, that seems like a fitting description. It sounds like a sunrise-esque melody. I'm gonna switch it back to my other one here,
Selected.
my morning breeze or whatever.
Selected. Warm breeze.
Warm breeze, all right. But then there also are, if you want to pay for premium features,
Premium sounds.
premium sounds,
Distant memories.
distant memories. I wonder if you can actually play them.
Distant memory.
Okay, it won't let you sample them, right? So it wants you to say.
Try premium now. Button.
So one thing, it's not a one-time purchase. It's actually a subscription per year, I want to say. And I want to say it's like, was it 20, 25 bucks or something a year? And it's not just for sounds. They do a lot of like tracking and like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you really, really want to keep track of your sleep, I'll kind of walk you through some of the other things that you can unlock if you want to do a premium membership.
Already a subscriber? Button. Upgrade to premium and get complete sleep monitoring features. Keep your data safe with online backup. If you lose your device or get a new one, you can transfer your data to your new device. Kimbo, pandemic by 8.
Yeah, so you can track all this stuff. Oh, okay, so this is the screen where it tells you all of it.
Keep your data safe with online. Measure, listen to and share your snoring.
So they've just added this now. Like, if you want to see, if people are like, I don't snore. As it's tracking you, it'll have like little clips. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I snore like a freight train. And I guess, there's health reasons for that. Like, if you're really cranking them out or something, it could be a health issue or whatever, but you can kind of, yeah, if you really want to see if you snore and listen to yourself saw logs, I guess you can do that if you wish.
92%. 52%.
What?
Identify changes in progress over time. 52%. 92%.
I'm not sure. Okay, so
Measure,
it's a.
listen to and share your snoring. 92%.
There's a graph under here, and it's finding these little percentages. I don't know exactly what that means.
50%. Identify changes in progress over time.
So I can identify changes in progress over time, like, how well am I sleeping? Is there certain things that are causing me to not sleep as well?
Worked out. 21%.
What?
Worked out. 21%. Vacation. 17%.
Okay, so, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't looked into all this stuff as to, like, all the things you can
Improve your sleep by seeing how your lifestyle affects your sleep.
Okay, yeah, so basically what he said.
See how the local weather affects your sleep.
Uh-huh.
58 BPM. Measure and store your heart rate every morning.
Eh.
The sleep aid helps you fall asleep easier.
That actually might be kind of interesting. You know, it's kind of a sleep aid. You can put on these different like sounds and stuff. There are other apps that'll do it too. You know, they'll play. Some people like to fall asleep to like falling rain or, you know, just like a nature-esque, like a wind, you know, wind blowing or ambient kind of nature sounds, whatever. That kind of a
15
thing.
additional alarm sounds or select songs from your own library. Sleep 15 additional alarm sounds or select songs from your own library.
So these are all these premium features that you can
Log your
get.
morning mood when you wake up. Log your morning mood when you wake up.
Okay, so if you want to say like, oh, okay, is this working? Do I actually feel more awake, or do I still feel groggy and grumpy? I
Do
don't
you sleep
guess.
well? Compare with the world.
Compare with the world as far as how well you slept.
Connect and sync with Runkeeper.
And I can connect with Runkeeper, which is another app I think that these guys make.
Use Philips Hue bulbs to wake up with natural light.
Oh, okay, so you can tie this into like your smart appliances. So like, okay, you can gradually go from darkness to, you know, lighting the room. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Featured in. I've used the app for months now and truly believe it works. Ellipsis. And I love seeing graphs of my sleep patterns over time.
Okay, so then a couple reviews and whatever. All right, so let's
Cancel. Button.
back out of
Cancel.
this.
Sound.
Let's
Distant
go
memories. Done.
back to our home
Done.
screen.
Alarm on. Alarm on. Button.
And so we're back to our home
Investigate the
screen now.
alarm.
Across the
Sleep
bottom,
analysis.
we have tabs.
Selected. Alarm. Tab.
Alarm tab. That's what we're on. That's what I showed you.
Statistics. Tab. 2 of 4.
Statistics. I'll pop in there in a minute.
Trends. Tab.
Trends. I don't think I've really looked in there yet.
Settings. Tab.
And then settings. So let's go to
Statistics. Tab.
statistics. This app does seem fairly voiceover accessible. Now, the one part that really isn't is the graph on this screen at the top of at the top of the screen.
Showing 25th Tuesday to April 27th.
So, okay, so we got our date up here. I'm going to flick to the right.
Text. Dimmed.
Next. So no,
Show next
because we
night.
can't go more than today.
Edit. Button.
Edit.
Alarm. Tab. 1 of 4.
Oh, weird. So it actually skips the whole thing if you flick, but if you explore by touch, you can get at quite a bit of the information. So the top half of this screen
Sleep quality.
is a graph of like, so if it's near the top of the screen, I was more awake. And if you're like, if it shows you dipping toward the bottom, it means you're going more toward deep sleep. So you can see last night I kind of slept like crap, and that shows because I woke up this morning thinking, I didn't sleep as well as I wanted to. Toward the end there, I got some pretty good sleep, but had that spike in the middle of the night, it looks like. But then underneath the chart, you have some information.
In bed. 11:44 p.m. 6:14 a.m.
There you go. So there's your alarm, or there's your, 6:14, whatever.
Sleep quality. 76%.
76%, I don't know. That's like they measure some kind of algorithm or something that's based on your movement and breathing or something, kind of analyzes how well you slept. I think that one may be a little high. Oh wait, you know what? Actually, this isn't. This is not last night, but the night before, I think. Because that one yesterday I felt pretty good.
Time in bed. 6:30.
So only like 6 hours and 30 minutes.
Activity. 1,300. Activity.
Now activity, I guess it uses your accelerometer, like Apple, your device tracks your movement in the background anyway, and it can pull information from that from the accelerometer. So at first I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean steps? Am I like moving in my sleep or whatever?" And I had to go under the help thing to be like, "Oh no!" Basically, what it does is in between your, the days, like in between your sleeping, it shows like, "Oh, how much did you walk that day? How many steps does it think you take?" And I didn't have my phone on me all the time. Sometimes it's at my desk. Sometimes it's, not where I can actually feel, the accelerometer won't track what I move. But so my step count has actually been low the last couple days.
1,388 steps.
Yeah, that's not very much at all. I usually try to get more than that, but
Total nights. 9 out. Time. 7:16.
okay. So I'm not quite sure what that means. I think like that's a total. I've used it for 9 nights maybe. Because I didn't use it on weekends until I figured out the other day that, oh, you can just have it monitor you if you want to. And I don't know, part of me is sort of curious to know, like, if I'm sleeping well, but I mean, I don't need a device to tell me that I'm sleeping well. Like when I wake up in the morning, I know if I've got crap sleep or not, you know? I mean, I can tell if I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long day, or hey, this is not too bad. But if you do the alarm thing, it just automatically tracks this anyway. So it's like, I'll do the main reason I wanted this app is for the smart alarm, is to see if that would work. Because I've been intrigued. I've never been a morning person. I hate waking up early, and if there's some way to like not jar me out of sleep, if there's some way that I can, more comfortably, more gradually wake up in the morning, um, and not feel so dang groggy and just like, want to lay in bed forever. It's like, well, I'll try it, see if it helps. And like I said, I can't definitively say, but it seems like it's a little bit. It's definitely less rough waking up in the morning, at least as far as like, okay, I'm not jarred out of my sleep. And it seems to work okay. So, I'll continue it for a while and see how it goes.
Trends.
Trends, I don't know what. Oh, this is all premium stuff. Like this, I don't know if it's accessible because it's grayed out.
Demo data.
Demo data.
Button.
Oh, this is all demo data. Okay, so yeah, I don't care necessarily too much about this. I don't see myself subscribing to the premium. I don't know that I would need that. I just mainly wanted the smart alarm. And like I said, I've heard about other apps. I've looked into other apps like this that have a smart alarm, but they always want you to put it using the accelerometer. So they want you to put it on your bed, next to your pillow. And I'm thinking, I have a small bed, and the way like I said, I roll and thrash around sometimes. Like I'm gonna knock the damn phone off the bed, and my luck, it'll hit the corner or something and mess up the screen or something, crack the screen or something. So no, we're not doing that. And then I there was some email I got from Apple a few weeks ago that was like, hey, here's some apps that might help or whatever. Just their advertisements. I just browsed through them and like, oh. And in the description of this one, it said you use your microphone instead of the accelerometer. So I looked at it and went, okay, I'll try it. And then your settings.
Sound. Warm breeze.
So I can configure my sound.
Vibration as backup.
Vibration as backup.
Snooze. Intelligent.
So you can do different snooze types.
Wake up phase. 30 minutes.
Wake up phase. So again, if I want to wake up at 6:30, I can say between 6 o'clock and 6:30. Or I can set a different phase to say like, no, I want to go from like 6:15 to 6:30. Now they say that they recommend 30 minutes because based on the average person's sleep cycle, it's like that's when you'll go in and out of the REM sleep, so you'll have a better chance of the app finding you in a lighter sleep around 30 minutes, 30-minute time period. Whereas if you're 15-minute, you may or may not, and it might wake you out of lighter sleep, but you still might be in a deeper sleep than you really want to be when you wake up. So I don't know. That's just what they say, anyways. So yeah, I've just left it at 30 so far, and it seems okay.
Weekend on.
Now weekend, this is what I originally I had it off, but after I looked at the help, I figured out what it meant. So it's not like this is where if I go in here,
Selected. Weekend. Settings.
it's not.
Weekend. Switch. Select the weekdays you only want sleep analysis, but no alarm to sound.
So you want sleep analysis, but so you can put it on, but it won't actually wake you up. So on the weekends, damn right I'm sleeping in.